Alright, it's not that I was muted, it was that for some reason my sound settings were stuffed. Anyway, got Kyle Kraus on the pole who qualified with a 30.8 flat. 0.22 of a second behind him will be the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. We're going to have the 2 of Chris Champo at a third. The 22 in your standings, but the 12 on track of Gary Waterworth will be out of P4. Jaron Sanchez will be out of P5 with Evan Rice in P6. Brandon Miller, in a great qualifying effort, will be out of P7. We've got Michael Sturgill, who will be out of 8th, with Frank Isaacson starting out of P9. P10 will be the 48 of Andrew Perkins, with the 21 of Brian Chambliss out of 11th. The 8 of Blake Matties will be out of 12th, with Mark Penticup out of 13th. Thomas Harmon will be out of 14th, with Jonathan Bell out of 15th. Zach Floyd will be out of 16th, with Matt Horton out of 17th. James Lindau will be out of 18th, with Brian Pizzakemi out of 19th. Travis Massia will be out of 20th, with Matt Burgess out of 21st. 22nd will be the 81 of Corey Williamson, with the 1 of Brandon Bennett starting all by himself in 23rd position. There we go, there is our starters and drivers here for the Champ Speed Shop 160 here from the Michigan International Speedway. Don't forget, after the checkered flag waves, use the code word Michigan at www.champspeedshop.com to get 10% off your order, and that will close at midnight Pacific. So that'll be about an hour afterwards. You will be able to, well, you got about an hour to get your orders in and get that 10% off. The pace car pulls to the infield now. We're getting ready to go. And we're off and racing here for the Champ Speed Shop 160 from the Michigan International Speedway. And already Kyle Kraus out to a good jump. Did a 2 of Chris Champo trying to look for a middle line there. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to at the moment. Does get the inside lane now on Kyle Kraus. Third place is going to be the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. As you can see, some of the paints are refreshing. And we have a caution already. Oh, and we have a pile up. Let's go back and have a look at what has occurred here. See if we can see where it started. Currently looking at the 27 of Jonathan Bell, who's actually running the 24 car there. Does it start with him or does it start in front? Oh, he blinks. It actually already started ahead of him with the 8. Let's see what's happened to the 8 here. He was racing with Brandon Miller. Going into turn 3. Oh, Brandon slipped up the track and into the 8 of Blake. Blake goes into the wall. You see he's loose, he can't control it from there. Comes down and into the side of Jonathan Bell. They come back out onto the track. In fact, Jonathan Bell does. Oh, Brian Pizzakemi, nowhere to go, straight into him. You can see Blake Matties there also spinning out again, unable to control it on the apron. Corey Williamson, very lucky to scrape through on the outside line there. What an escape. And the 1 of Brandon Bennett just stops to make sure he doesn't hit anyone. So there you go. That is how that all kicked off. Unfortunately, Jonathan Bell is going to be possibly OUT out of this race. So, with that caution coming out at the end of lap 1, we have an order that consists of Chris Champeau, Kyle Kraus, Jonathan Hernandez, Jaron Sanchez, Gary Waterworth, Michael Sturgill, Evan Rice, Andrew Perkins, Brandon Miller, and Frank Isaacson as your top 10. Brian Chambliss, Mark Petticuff, Thomas Harmon, Zach Floyd, James Lindow. Oh, we had extra changes. Don't mind me. Okay. I'll go over to my other standings. That one. So, Frank Isaacson, Zach Floyd, Mark Petticuff, Matt Burgess, Corey Williamson, Travis Massia, Matt Horton, Thomas Harmon, James Lindown, Brandon Bennett out the back. Blake Matties is a lap down. 78, Brian Pizzicami is a lap down. It's time for us to get this thing going again. Can we get further than one lap? We'll have to wait and see. The pace car pulls infield. Chris Champeau has lane choice and he can start whenever the hell he wants. And we're going green again. He waited all the way for the green flag because this is a very drafty track, but he gets a little bit of a lead going right now. Pulls into the high lane so he can get a nice little arc into the corner. And he does maintain the lead coming out of turn 2. Going to sit in front of the inside line there, but now here comes a very brightly coloured car of the Gary Waterworth. 22 in your standings, a 12 on track. Just to make it confusing, there is 2 12 cars on track. Only one of them is a true 12 car, and that is Matt Burgess. Oh, is now Jonathan Hernandez looking low on Chris Champeau for the lead. That looked like a little bit of a last minute decision. But he does get underneath him. Can't quite get the lead away yet. Close quarters racing here for the front of the pack. Now Hernandez does manage to wrestle the lead away from Chris Champeau. Got 2 and 3 wide action in the back of the pack here a little bit, and Chris trying to get back onto the outside of Hernandez here going into 3. Not going to quite work out for him this time. Now Chris Champeau trying to go on the low line to get around Hernandez. The Michael Sturgill up there worked his way to 4th. He's looking to try and get a little bit of a run here as well. Chris Champeau unable to try and take the lead away again. Sturgill though, right on his bumper. He's going to be pushing him through the front straight here. In fact, he is tandem drafting. And here comes the 28 of Zach Floyd, making it 3 wide to the inside. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there between Gary. Oh, Sturgill in the fence. And into someone who was on his outside who got into the fence. I'm not sure what's going on. Things are getting spread out. People are running into people. I think it might have been Evan Rice who got squeezed into the fence there. While everyone was checking out for what they saw going on ahead. But everyone is still together in this pack. No one has really dropped off the back. Go see who we can see out the back there. So one of Brandon Bennett is the man on the back of this pack. And he is only 3.1 seconds behind our leader, Jonathan Hernandez. So the entire field spread by 3.1 seconds. So I just heard someone else get into the wall. What we're going to do here is we're going to open up the radio waves, see what these drivers are talking about. See, these first 5 are kind of sort of single filed out a little bit. Fernandez, Waterworth, Chambliss, Champeau, and Sanchez. Now here comes Chambliss. He was looking to the inside of Waterworth there, unable to get the move made. For Sanchez also trying to look for a way around Champeau. Doesn't look like he's going to get away around either. Here comes Chambliss again to the inside. Got a battle for 6 going on as well between Zach Floyd and I think that's the 90 of Michael Sturgill on the outside. Sturgill got loose coming out of 2. That's going to give Zach Floyd the position. Here comes Evan Rice. He goes to the inside of Sturgill as well. And Zach Floyd already starting to catch up to the front pack. Now we have a front pack of about 9 cars. As there is a little bit of separation between these guys and the second pack now. Let's go back to having a look at the very front of this pack. Ooh, Sanchez. Looks like he might have glanced off the wall there. But that also allowed him to start an inside move onto the 2 of Chris Champeau. Zach Floyd right behind him as well. Just giving him a little bit of drafting assistance. How long can these guys hold on to it for though? That's going to be the question. 78 of Brian Pizzakemi is coming back out onto the track. Now the rest of the pack is starting to catch up again, while the top 3 are starting to skip away ever so slightly here. They got a 0.5 of a second gap over Chris Champeau and Jaron Sanchez, who are running side by side here for the 4th position. Don't forget guys, go and visit www.champsspeedshop.com. At the end of this race, use the code word Michigan and you'll be able to get 10% off of your order. And I strongly suggest you guys do, because he does really good quality shirts. But these guys are starting to single file out now. Sanchez has dropped down to P6. We have a change for the lead as well. The 21 of Brian Chambliss has overtaken Hernandez for the lead. Hernandez now fighting back on the inside. And here comes Waterworth. Looks like he wants to try and get into this battle as well. Just as I thought things were calming down, everything's just heated straight back up. Waterworth now in P2. Hernandez has gone from first to third in the last lap and a half. And we have a car in the pits. That looks like the 90 of Michael Sturgill taking an early stop. Now Chris Champeau getting his way back into this little bit of a battle. Somehow Jaron Sanchez has made his way back into P5 in front of Zach Floyd. You also see the actual 12 of Matt Burgess there sitting in the background. He's in P8 with Evan Rice in the 6 car in P7. Just behind these guys. And there you go, they've just swapped positions as well now. Matt Burgess up into 6th. Up into 7th. With Evan Rice down to 8th. Thomas Harmon also looming in the background there. He's got Travis Massieu right behind him. Oh, who was that? That was the 28 of Zach Floyd. I think he might have gotten into the turn 2 wall there on the exit. Shot straight down to the apron. Managed to hold on to it though. He continues racing. We stay green. Here comes Hernandez now using the apron, trying to take the lead back away from Brian Chambliss. Got Gary Waterworth up there as well. Looked like he was going to try and give his favour to Chambliss. As the skies start to darken here at the Michigan International Speedway. Possibly a little bit of fogginess as well. Oh, that could just be me. Chris Champeau has dealt his way back into this battle really nicely now as well. Here comes Jaron Sanchez and Matt Burgess trying to make something of this. Sitting 5th and 6th right now. So Sanchez is going to look to the outside of Chris Champeau. Got the 12 of Matt Burgess who's going to go down to the inside line and give Chris a push along the back straight here. And we're going to go 3 wide for the lead. On the bottom is Gary Waterworth. In the middle is Jonathan Hernandez. And the outside is Brian Chambliss. We saw in practice that this has the potential to go very bad. And Chambliss on the outside line. Look at the momentum that he gained. Just pulling ahead of Jonathan Hernandez there. Wow. And Jaron Sanchez is now battling for 2nd. Didn't think that we'd see that happen. He is going to fall back to 3rd here by the looks of things. Hernandez just that little bit stronger than Sanchez on the inside line. We'll have to wait and see how it will unfold. Matt Burgess trying to send it up the inside of Evan Rice there. Those guys have been battling it out for 6th and 7th for a while now. Every lap that's gone by, Thomas Harmon has also been inching a little bit closer to this pack. But guys, we're going to go for a quick commercial break here. When we come back, we should be just about getting ready for some green flag pit stops, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, we are back here for the Champ Speed Shop 160, live from the Michigan International Speedway. We still got Brian Chambliss in the lead. While we're in commercial break, Sanchez actually managed to get into second and then lose it straight away. It also looks like we might have lost the 81 of Corey Williamson. Not sure what happened for him, but he is OUT out of this race. But we should be just a little bit away from getting some green flag pit stops here. In the next lap or two, I would have to suspect. As I said, normally about 32.5 laps on fuel. Did have the one caution period, which will extend that very slightly. As a mosquito tried to fly into my eye. Sanchez now looking to take second away from Chambliss as Hernandez has retaken the lead. And he got there. In fact, now Sanchez wants to try and look for the lead to the inside of Hernandez. He's not going to get there this time. In fact, he might be in threat of losing third to Chris Champeau because he has no help on that inside line. This time he's got some help in the middle of the corner, but that's about it. Chris Champeau securely in third. Thomas Harmon almost going to make it 3 wide there in between Waterworth and Sanchez. And I have no idea what that was, but that was Jaron Sanchez, ladies and gentlemen.
competition caution.
And we got drivers coming in for pit stops now. I can see the 6 is in the pits of Evan Rice. I think it might be Zach Floyd in there with him. We've also got Frank Isaacson that's come into the pits.
Coming in.
Gary Waterworth is going to make his pit stop this time as well. Yeah, that's Gary Waterworth into the pits.
Pitting next time by James.
Yeah, same.
The 9 and the 19 are going to be pitting this time as well. It's Matt Horton and James Lindau. You saw the 24 and the 6 coming out of the pits. Chris Champeau trying to make a move for second to the inside of Brian Chambliss. And he gets the move made as Jonathan Hernandez comes to the pits. So that is going to be Chris Champeau into the lead now of the Champ Speed Shop 160 here from the Michigan International Speedway. Don't forget, go to champspeedshop.com and use the code name Michigan to get 10% off your order as Zach Floyd on the fresh tyres gets onto the apron completely to avoid the leaders. You see there, Brian Chambliss trying to use the draft of Zach Floyd to his advantage. Here comes the 6 of Evan Rice. Going 3 wide with our leaders, and Chambliss now comes into the pits. That was scary. Now Thomas Harmon looking for the lead. In fact, Thomas Harmon taking the lead with authority here now. The first time Thomas Harmon's hit the lead of the race.
Pitting in this time.
Chris Champeau is going to be pitting this time.
Pitting into the...
Pretty sure that was Jaron Sanchez that's coming in with him. It is. Now Thomas Harmon in the lead all by himself. He's got Gary Waterworth behind him, Matt Burgess. So Gary Waterworth has already pitted. Matt Burgess behind has not. Also got Travis Massio who has not, and that is it. It's 3 cars who have not pitted yet. It looks like Michael Sturgill has actually come in and made a second stop as well, possibly. In fact, no, he has not. He is a lap down. Now the 12 of Matt Burgess is actually in the lead of this race. All by himself, he's the last car to come into the pits. And here he comes now. Gets nicely slowed up all by himself. Doesn't have to worry about anyone running him over. But we're going to keep eyes on the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez, who should filter out to be our leader here. Zach Floyd in second and Evan Rice in third. Matt Burgess starts rolling down the pit lane. He's going to lose a lot of position here. But Hernandez has now officially retaken the lead. And Evan Rice, even though he's got that little bit of damage from being squeezed into the wall earlier, looking pretty strong there in third. But these guys have just calmed down a bit. They're not really racing too hard. And they're just being nice and sensible. Which is a weird sentence to say when you're talking about Jonathan Hernandez. In fourth, we're going to have Gary Waterworth, who has a little bit of space back to the 5th place. Brian Chambliss in the 21. And go back to 6th, and we've got a pack. There's the 38 of Thomas Harmon, the 2 of Chris Champeau, Jaron Sanchez is in there, and the 13 of Travis Massia. Chris Champeau gets the move made on Thomas Harmon very easily. I think Thomas was saving his tyres a little bit here, because this is going to be a longer run as well. I mean, it is possible to try and squeeze this out to a one-stop, but it's not easy at all. They'd need a couple of cautions for that to happen. And I don't think they're going to get them.
Five.
Going back up to the front of the pack, I think. The 88 Jonathan Hernandez with a huge gap now as the leaders caught up to the 90 car of Michael Sturgill. Sturgill, as we alluded to earlier, pitted early in the run. Then on lap 16. It looks like he's suffering for it now. The 48 car of Andrew Perkins is in the pits. And we are officially halfway home. 40 laps down, 40 laps to go. Jonathan Hernandez with the lead at the moment. Let's go back to that 6th place battle.
Yeah. We got oil in turn 1.
And Michael Sturgill pleading for a caution
I think we got a spike
so he can get a wave around and be back on the lead lap. These guys just taking it a little bit easier here on themselves. There has been a little bit of battling between Harmon and Champeau. This little group of 5 just sitting there solidly, taking their time, trying to catch up to our leading packs. Saying that, Jonathan Hernandez now with a 2.5 second lead over Brian Chambliss. As now the 78's coming back out on track. See the 60 of Carl Kraus going into the pits. And I do believe the drivers are listening to the broadcast. In which case I'm going to use my one for the broadcast and you're all cunts. Hernandez still holding on to the lead at the moment. I've muted the driver's channel. As he gets around the 78 of Brian Pizzicami, who is massively down on horsepower at the moment. for being involved in that first crash. But we're going to go for another quick commercial break here. When we come back, we're going to enjoy some racing. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the Champ Speed Shop 160 here from the Michigan International Speedway. And Ryan Chambliss is starting to close the gap to Jonathan Hernandez. The gap was out to about 3 seconds. It's now down to 2.2. So Chambliss is on a charge right now, trying to close up the gap to Hernandez. We go right on board the gyro cam of Chambliss. So A, you guys can see actually how much banking is in this track, and B, we can see that gap close down ever so slightly. Here there's a slight lift there. Got enough laps on the tyres where these drivers have to lift ever so slightly. And Chambliss didn't really actually close the gap there a little bit. In fact, he lost a tenth to Hernandez. He gained 1/10 over Evan Rice, but lost a tenth to Hernandez. So it seems that the tyres may have equaled out here a little bit. There's only 1 lap difference between them. So there shouldn't be too much difference in pace between these drivers, as there is actually a big battle going on here for third. I mean, big battle. Look at this group of cars. Here comes Chris Champeau to the inside. He's got Gary Waterworth giving him the push. Thomas Harmon trying to make it 3 wide up the middle. This is some dangerous close quarters combat right now. Harmon couldn't get the inside, couldn't get the middle, so he's going inside. Still 3 wide. Evan Rice still holding on to 4th. You can see Chris Champeau up there in 3rd. And on the inside comes Thomas Harmon. He's got 5th. He's going to try and take 4th away from Evan Rice now. Here comes Zach Floyd as well in the 28 car. Gary Waterworth kind of stuck there on the outside line at the minute. But he's got Jaron Sanchez behind him. There's also the 12 of Matt Burgess. There goes Thomas Harmon up into 4th. Now he's going to start hunting down the 2 of Chris Champo, trying to take away 3rd. Darren Sanchez is coming up as well. He wants the 5th. Looking to the inside of Evan Rice. And he should actually easily be able to take this position away. 4 laps difference in tyres between Sanchez and Rice. Sanchez with the advantage. As Waterworth there on the outside starting to experiment with some alternate dimensions. And now here comes Matt Burgess making it 3 wide. That's the battle for P6. Sanchez backed out of that one ever so slightly. Waterworth on the outside, still holding on to the advantage at the minute. It just about goes 3 wide again with Zach Floyd almost looking at sticking his nose in the middle. I can tell you the gap for the lead is starting to get bigger now. 2.6 seconds between Hernandez and Chambler, so Hernandez is absolutely controlling this race at the minute. You see Thomas Harmon getting onto the back of Chris Champo, as well as the 6 of Evan Rice getting onto the back of Waterworth. Sanchez just looking at sticking in the draft here as Matt Burgess starts playing with the alternate dimensions now. Close, hard battling going on with these drivers, as we are not very far away from green flag stops now. Again, within the next few laps we should be starting to see drivers coming back down to the pits, as this will be their last needed stop. And we do see someone coming in already. It's the 21 of Brian Chambliss, the first car to blink and take the green flag stop. He's pitting out of 2nd. Got the 24 of Frank Isaacson also coming in. See Michael Sturgill trying to make his way back through the field here a little bit after being caught on the alternate strategy and it not quite working out for him. He's got fresher tyres than all of these guys. And he'll be trying to make the most of them while he can. It's actually going to be a little bit of a wonder if Sturgill can actually make it to the end of the race. Because you're not going to be limited by tyres here, you're limited mostly by your fuel. As he slides up aggressively in front of the 12, we've got the 38. And I think that was the oh no, it was the 28 of Zach Floyd coming in as well. Chris Champo is in 2nd place. Let's go and get some eyes on our leader, the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. And Hernandez is coming into the pits this time. Let's see what the 2 of Chris Champo does. He stays out. Darren Sanchez comes in. Remember, the 90 of Michael Sturgill is 2 laps down at the moment. When it gets around Chris here, he'll only be 1 lap down. And he last pitted on lap 48. As it looks like this time the 22 of Gary Waterworth is coming to the pits. So too does the 13 of Travis Masia and the 19 of James Lindow. There goes the 28 of Zach Floyd on his fresh tires. Oh, there's contact! Mark Pentecoff has gone around off the nose of Thomas Harmon. And the pace car is out. Go back and have a look at what occurred here. So Thomas Harmon, obviously with just more speed, because Thomas Harmon is the quick boy. Coming through turn 2. Push tempo's on the outside and he's slow. Mark did come down a little bit, but Thomas was probably also a little bit aggressive there. We're a little bit blocked by Hernandez coming through the front straight, or back straight there. Around goes Mark Pentecoff. Caution's already out at this point. Slides down to the infield. Almost into the forward Jaron Sanchez. Quick reactions there from Sanchez to make sure he avoided that. And that has brought out the second caution of the race. Alright, we're going to go to another quick commercial break here. When we come back, we're going to see the fallout from the caution coming out in the middle of the pit stop cycles. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And welcome back to the Champ Speed Shop 160 here from the Michigan International Speedway. Don't forget, you get 10% off at checkout if you use the code name Michigan at www.champsspeedshop.com. Offer valid until midnight Pacific after the drop of the checkered flag. So this is our order as it stands. It's going to be Hernandez, Waterworth, Lindow, Champo, Matt Burgess, Brian Chambliss, Brandon Miller, Evan Rice, Zach Floyd, Travis Massier in 10th with Sanchez, Harmon and Isaacson all on the lead lap. And it's Bennett, Perkins, Horton, Sturgill, Pentecough, and Kraus all laps down. Kraus is actually 3 laps down. So, that is the way it stands at the moment. Corey Williamson, Brian Pizzicami, Blake Maddies, and Jonathan Bell all OUT out of the race. As we get ready for what should be the final restart here, with 16 laps left to run in this race. The pace car is in. And we're off and racing. Hernandez with a good jump over Waterworth there. And here comes the 19 of Lindau trying to look for second. But he's going to have to worry about the 2 of Chris Champeau on the outside trying to take away third. Champeau, the first car on 4 absolutely brand new fresh tyres. Let's see if he can get those good years turning and try and turn himself into the lead. Go 3 and 4 wide in the background. Here comes the 12 of Matt Burgess now. 21 of Chambliss is there. So is the 28 of Zach Floyd. We've gone back to pack racing here at Michigan. Matt Burgess on the bottom of 3 wide on the apron, if you don't mind. And these 2 cars are charging there on that inside line. That's Matt Burgess and Zach Floyd, the 12 and the 28. See, Waterworth there is trying to block their momentum a little bit. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it though. He's doing a good job of it so far. We'll have to wait and see. There is the 2 of Chris Champeau also on the outside, still in third at the moment. Trying to help Jonathan Hernandez along. Zach Floyd trying to make it 3 wide in almost an impossibly small gap. Thinks better of it, slots back in behind Champeau there. We've got 14 laps left to run. We're going to go 3 wide for the lead with Waterworth in the middle. Got Hernandez on the outside, and looks like Matt Burgess has pulled it back in behind Waterworth. The 2 12s are working together. One of them's actually the 12, the other one is the 22. 22, obviously, Gary Waterworth, who is in P2 at the minute. And here comes Brian Chambliss looking for the inside of Matt Burgess. Chambliss has really been on a very good run of pace as of late. And he is going to get that move made just about. No, he doesn't. Lost too much momentum there on the exit, slots back into the 6th position. Could have almost had 4th, but didn't quite work out for him. The 2 of Chris Champeau got a really bad run through turn 3 that time. He dropped back a little bit. And here comes Matt Burgess now going 3 wide for the lead. Can he hold on to it on the inside line? We'll have to wait and see. Waterworth slid up a little bit. We're going to go 4 wide for the lead. Close quarters combat has just gone crazy. As now Matt Burgess just got squeezed out and has dropped further back than where he was. The 21 of Brian Chambliss, who made that 4 wide, has taken the lead. There's the 28 of Zach Floyd as well. As we've got 11 laps left to run. If they keep running like this, I'm probably going to have a heart attack. Here comes Zach Floyd now, making it 3 wide with Chambliss and Hernandez, but Chambliss too strong. Oh, and we got one around. That is Waterworth who's gone around. I'm not sure who else was involved in that. We'll have a look at that in a second. He keeps it off of the inside wall. But let's have a different camera angle. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's see what unfolded here. for the 22 of Waterworth. He was 3 wide with Brandon Miller and Evan Rice. Coming off a turn 2, you can see he's sliding up ever so slightly there. Brandon Miller, who is out at the wall. Oh no, Brandon Miller came down off the wall into the back of Waterworth. Brandon Miller's going to have damage. Got the Ford Jones Sanchez in there. And he's got damage. And Waterworth, as I said, managing to keep it off of the inside wall, so that's very well done. And with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break here. When we come back, we're going to see how things will be for our, what should hopefully be our final restart within the last 10 laps here. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back everyone to the Champs Speed Shop 160 here from the Michigan International Speedway. You're having a look at who is going to be your leader, today's sponsor, Tool of Chris Champeau. Make sure you go and visit champspeedshop.com after the end of the race. Use the code Michigan to get 10% off your order at checkout. And that offer will be valid until midnight Pacific. So it's going to be Champeau, Hernandez, Chambliss, Floyd, Burgess, Rice, Lindau, Harmon, Masia, and Isaacson as your top 10. With Sanchez, Sturgill, who's back on the lead lap, Miller and Waterworth wrapping up your lead lap cars in 14th. We see the 48 there, that is Andrew Perkins dropping down towards the back of the pack. We're going to have 7 laps to go when we get the green flag. And if we don't finish it here and we get another caution, then my head will probably explode. Now just for context here, Chris Champeau did not pit under this caution. And he will have 9 lap older tyres than the rest of the field. So we'll have to see how this is going to work out for him. The pace car is in. And we're going.
Go. Green flag.
Chris jumping just a little bit earlier than where everyone else has usually been jumping in this race. And he has clean and clear got the lead. But we'll see how long he holds it for. As I said, 9 lap older tyres than the rest of the field. He's going to have a very big uphill battle to try and maintain this position. There's the 21 of Brian Chambliss already looking to the low side of Champo. We wait till we get a better camera angle. Here comes the 38 of Thomas Harmon. And there was contact there between Zach Floyd and the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez, which nearly turned into disaster. Champo still trying to battle back for the lead. He got into the back of Chambliss a little bit there. Not enough to turn him, just enough to get him a little bit loose. And Champo back into the lead. Here comes Hernandez now on the outside of 3 wide. Matt Burgess on the bottom. Brian Chambliss in the middle. And don't tell me we're going to go 4 wide again. We are 4 wide, 3 wide. Matt Burgess pulled out of that at the very last second. And it looks like Hernandez now on the outside line is going to take the lead with the help from Zach Floyd. Oh no! Matt Burgess was just hip and shouldered out of the race, or out of the battle for the lead by Chris Champo, who just got tapped by the 6 of Evan Rice. The 38 of Thomas Harmon is in the grass. He's managing to hold on to it somehow. Well done to save that by Thomas Harmon. Holy jeebus. Going back up to the front of the pack now. It is a 3-car battle at the minute. We have the potential to get some more in there as well. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. We've got 4.5 laps left to run in the race. It's Hernandez, Floyd and Chambliss. And right there in 4th place is Lindau, who will be looking feisty. Chambliss looking to the outside of Floyd. Floyd was almost going to block it off. Floyd's now going to go to the inside of Hernandez. Who is going to take home the win here? I have no idea, as Floyd now in the lead. Slide job in front of Hernandez to take the lead with authority. Here comes Chambliss now. And Lindau on the inside line. Evan Rice and Matt Burgess just behind this, watching and waiting at the moment. Chambliss attempting the slide job on Zach Floyd, and it didn't quite work out for him like it did for Zach. Zach leads that lap. 3 laps to go. And the Champ Speed Shop 160 here from the Michigan International Speedway. We go 3 wide for 2nd place with James Lindau on the inside. And he checked up a lot. That stunted the momentum of the 12 of Matt Burgess. And somehow Travis Massia has just worked his way into this battle. We've also got Frank Isaacson in P8, guys. I just thought I'd mention that to you. As we come out of turn 4, getting ready to get 2 to go. We've got Brian Chambliss now in the lead. Zach Floyd almost relegated down to 3rd when they cross the line, because here comes Jonathan Hernandez with the help from the 6 of Evan Rice. And Frank Isaacson is in contention to win this race. Those are words I never thought I would ever say. Frank Isaacson in contention to win. Sitting up there in the 8th position still. Brian Chambliss still leading the way at the moment as we come out of turn 4. We're going to get the white flag this time. White flag, last lap, last chance to win it all. Wear it for Brian Chambliss. And it's going to be a very big uphill battle with the 88, the 28, and the 6 behind him. Zach Floyd going for the big dive in 1 and 2. Not going to work out for him this time. In fact, he lost a lot of momentum there, and he's going to be in the middle of 3 wide as Hernandez and Rice start to work their way around him. So he just went from making a move for the lead to dropping down to 5th, as Lindau also got him coming out of turn 4 though. It is going to be the 21 of Brian Chambliss with the win. There's been a crash in the background. But Chambliss with the win. Evan Rice taking out P2. James Lindau 3rd. Matt Burgess in 4th. With Frank Isaacson finishing P5. Well done, Frank Isaacson, on a top 5 performance. Congratulations, Brian Chambliss on the win. We're just going to quickly go have a look at what happened to Hernandez here at the very end. Ooh. Alright, that's a little bit of he said, she said there. We won't worry too much about that one though. Because here is Brian Chambliss. He's going to celebrate his win here at Michigan. He's going to do it in style with the burnout. Oh, Sturgill sliding in to celebrate as well. Alright guys, with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have driver interviews. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, we are back, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different here. Normally, we'll be talking to our hard charger right now, but we're not going to do that because instead, I want to have a chat to our fifth place getter today. None other than the one and only Mr. Frank Isaacson. Frank, you drove your way to a top five. That is incredible. How do you feel, man? Your best result in Output Racing League ever.
I f-
I'm sorry we missed that. What was that?
I said I'm feeling great. It's good to have those puzzle pieces up front for a change.
It definitely is, man. I mean, in a race where we had such long green flag runs, we had 1.5 green flag pit stops, and a little bit of drama there at the end. You know, you even qualified well. What is it about you and Michigan that just clicked this week?
I don't know. I've always been better at this track than most others.
It's definitely a very big surprise. You know, but let's talk about what happened at the end there. You obviously restarting in the top 10 on that final caution. You work your way up through to 8th, sitting 8th for a couple of laps. What happens from there?
Well, I haven't seen the replay, so I don't know who it was. But one person I think spun off into the back, and then right before the line, two people got together, and I just didn't let up and just drove right through.
Well, that's awesome, man. Never lift, especially when the stakes are so high. And again, man, a top 5 is absolutely amazing.
Yes, it is.
All right, now I know that we do this every single time that we get you into the booth, but you have Autism Speaks all over the car. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it and a little bit about your history with it?
Yeah, I have a 4-year-old that's autistic, and it's just trying to get the word out there that it's not a. I'm trying to just kind of, I guess, it would take away some of the stigma behind it.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Everybody that runs this league, you, Jaron, yeah, everybody involved. I'm having a blast.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming out. Again, congratulations on your first ever top 5 with the league, and hopefully we can get you up into the top 3 one of these days.
That's the goal.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Frank, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. I'll be here.
All right, guys. So that was a 24 car of Frank Isaacson, and I'm a little bit silly. I probably should have checked to see what next week's race is going to be. So we're going to leave Frank's car up on the screen there while I go have a look. And next week's race, ooh, Watkins. That one should be interesting. All right, so coming up next, we're going to have our third place getter. As soon as I find the right group of people. Our third place getter tonight, I think this is actually his first time in the top 3. So will everyone please help me in welcoming the 19 of James Lindow. James, great race by you, man. You were right up there when it counted at the end and came away with the top 3. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That was a fun race. I love Michigan, so it's happy to keep it clean and come away with a good finish.
Now, I know when we first started this race, I was maybe going to be a little bit skeptical that we're going to get green flag runs, especially when we got that caution on the very first lap. What was it like for you going through the process of, is this going to become a wreck fest with that first caution and then having to readjust to having a long enough green flag run where we almost got 2 green flag stops in completely?
I've run enough races with this league to know, sometimes you're going to get long runs, sometimes you'll get short, choppy runs. So Michigan, figure we'll kind of get spaced out a little bit. Draft's important here. So, with quickie caution, I was just eager to get back, go green, and see if we could get a long run in, and we did. And, you know, that late caution to go ahead, I was already on pit road when that late caution came out. So that was definitely a game changer and put me in position to be up front.
Right, man. Well, let's talk about those final couple of restarts. It got a little bit chaotic there with everyone getting bunched back up, some people being on fresh tires, some people not. What was it like for you trying to navigate your way through that little bit of a cluster and come out with the top three?
Yeah, that second to last restart was a big nope moment for me because we started sending it 3 and 4 wide. So I backed out, knew things were getting a little hairy, and pulled myself back, but still in striking distance, and just kind of waited it out. And sure enough, like I said, got another caution, able to pit, get some more tires on it, and stay up front that time. So overall, really fun race. Restarts were pandemonium, but it was all about keeping your car clean, and that's what we were able to do.
All right, man. Now, looking forward to next week. We're going to our second road course of the season at Watkins Glen, where it should be. What's the feeling like for you heading into the Watkins week?
You know, I'm pretty good at Watkins Glen and everything but a cup car, so I definitely got to put my practice in and get a few laps in. But being able to run with Harmon and Burgess and those guys definitely brings my skill level up. So I'll get some practice in with those guys and see what we can do.
All right, awesome, man. Well, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, put Ben and Jerry's on the car, finished that paint up last night, and had a good run with it. So looking forward to some more outings with that. And like I said, my buddy Steve French, who couldn't be here tonight, he's usually my running buddy. So wish he could have been here, but yeah, had a good run. So I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming out. We look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thank you, Corey.
All right, guys. That was the 19 of James Lindow, today's third place getter. And because he didn't correct me on his last name, I guess I was saying it right. Coming up next, we've got a fairly aggressive driver that we don't usually get to talk too much to. He's either up towards the front or he's causing a bit of drama, but we love him either way. We're, of course, talking to the 6 of Evan Rice. Evan, that was a crazy race, man, especially on those restarts. What was it like for you?
Yeah, the restarts are pretty hectic, and honestly, with this package and how big this track is, it was really flat foot for a lot of laps after the restart. It wasn't just, it's not like a mile and a half when it's only flat for a couple laps. It was basically a super speedway race for a really long time. I mean, even at the end of fuel runs, we were 2 by 2. It seemed like. So yeah, the restarts they were pretty hectic.
Now, man, let's talk about just those last couple of restarts specifically. We've just come off a couple of, like one really long green flag run where we got, well, some people got a couple of pit stops in, but some not quite. Um, were you able to get your final pit stop in under green, or did you wait for the yellow? And what was the strategy for you moving forward for the last few laps?
Yeah, I was actually one of the people that stayed out and didn't pit before the yellow because I went for the I pitted. I was one of the first people to pit during the first round of green flag stops, and I realized that through the run, I noticed the people that waited a couple extra laps to pit seemed to be passing us, and the overcut seemed to be the way to go. So I was basically just going to run my fuel tank dry. I was actually going to pit on the next lap, right after the caution came out, wound up coming out. So, but yeah, I didn't pit before the caution came out because I was going for the overcut.
Right, now let's talk about how aggressive that you had to be on those final couple of restarts. We saw that there was a little bit of contact. You got involved a little bit with Chris Champeau from what I saw. What was it like for you, not only just trying to navigate your way through the pack while they were going 2, 3, and 4 wide, but also trying to avoid getting into anyone too heavily?
Yeah, I want to I guess apologize to Harmon. I think got the worst out of that. There was I knew Chris was on older tires, and so I didn't really want to push him down the straightaway. I kind of wanted to get past him, and I saw a gap, and I went for it, and he kind of shut the door at the last minute, and so and that got him loose, and it got into Harmon, and I know he got the worst of it, so it kind of sucks for him. But yeah, that was the last few laps were just trying to get in the right position, really, and I think I timed it right because I was like fifth with 3 or 4 to go, and I wound up second. So, yeah.
All right, man. Now we're looking forward toward next week. We're going to Watkins Glen. What's the feeling like for you heading into the second road course of the season?
I I hope to do really well. Finish around where I did tonight. I think I finished second to Christian at Sonoma. So, I'm assuming if he races, then I'm assuming he'll be the one to beat. But if not, then I guess we'll see if we can try and go for a win. I guess since we haven't got one this year, it seems like I finished second at least 3 or 4 times and haven't gotten a win yet. So it'd be nice to finally get one before the season's over, hopefully.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Just shout out to my mom. Hi, mom.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming out, and we look forward to seeing you again next week at Watkins.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, guys. So that was the sixth car of Evan Rice, today's second place getter, in what was a fantastic finish. But coming up next, we not only have our winner, but we also have today's Hard Charger Award winner, going from 11th to capture the win. We are, of course, talking to the 21 of Brian Chambliss. Brian, congratulations first and foremost on getting the win, and congratulations also on getting the Hard Charger. You don't win these too often because you're usually just too damn good. What happened in qualifying?
I don't know. I don't know. I had the thing all the way to the floor the whole time. I guess I don't know. Don't know. I mean, you saw me. You had my broadcast here on Friday, and I believe I was qualified second there. But I don't know what happened here. I didn't have it in qualifying. But being in the practice session with these guys earlier and doing the pit parties and whatnot, I noticed real quick that I was going to be really good, especially early.
Well, it definitely looked like you were in for a bit of a hard challenge, especially when we did get that long green flag run. Hernandez was pulling away from the rest of the pack by a little bit. You seemed to start to catch up to him a little bit, but once you got clear of that pack, it just seemed that you didn't quite have the pace as what you used to have, even though you had the one lap fresher tyres than Hernandez. Am I correct in assuming you might have used up your tyres a little bit too much after you had that first green flag stop?
I don't know if I I used them up, but when you have to go through and push them and pass some other cars that are in front of you and getting the dirty air off of them, and if he's got clean air, he's just by default going to be able to save a little bit. But if I'm having to, not drive my normal line, just trying to get around some guys, it's going to use up some tires. So I mean, I guess so. The answer is, I guess, yeah, I did use them up more than he did, but I think he had a little easier traffic go. But after that long run, when we did pit before that caution came out, I short pit him because I wanted to be in his draft after he pit, so that way I could just kind of have him pull me around, and we could just maybe stick around to the end. But that, of course, didn't happen. We had a couple late cautions there.
Now let's talk a little bit about those couple of late cautions. It definitely threw the field into a little bit of anarchy, people on different tyre strategies, and everyone being bunched up again, going 3 and 4 wide on the restarts. What was it like for you on those restarts, trying to deal with the chaos?
I mean, I don't know if you've used up your one for the broadcast, but I had a lot of big dick energy moves in there. I was going where they weren't, and if where they weren't was a hole where I could poke it 4 wide, that's where I kind of went. But the credit to these guys in this league that um, people like that can be aggressive around other drivers, still hold their line, and it was great. Those restarts, it was a blast, absolute blast. I'm sure it was a lot of fun for you up there in the broadcast, but as much as it probably was fun to watch, man, it was fun. And so,
Oh, I could
battling it out.
imagine how much fun it was, and I was just about to have a heart attack. I just about had my head explode, and seeing you guys going 4 wide, you know, it was absolutely incredible racing to watch, and I kind of wish I was a part of it just because of how close and how intense the action was from a viewing perspective.
Oh yeah, I can't say I'm so excited to get the win here, but just the racing in general. I know he had a couple cautions, but it was outstanding. The quality of guys here is great, and it's nice to know that you can be aggressive, and the guys around you are going to be just as aggressive, and not end up, wadding them up. But I can't say I'm super excited to get this one. I was driving the heck out of the car, and everybody else around me was too. So credit to those guys. Those guys, I'm glad to get the win.
All right, man. Now next week we're moving on to Watkins Glen. What's the feeling like for you heading into the second road course of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I'm not really a road course guy. I'm kind of, right around right place or so. So, I mean, I just, just trying to, like I always do on road courses, keep it on the hard stuff because it don't turn real well when you're in the wall or in the grass. So, as long as you can do that, you're probably gonna be all right and at least have some pace. So, that's really what I'm looking for. There is just keep her on the block.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, just again, I want to thank the league and Jaron, all the drivers here. As I said, I can't say that tonight was an absolute blast, and that's a credit to the folks in this league. I want to thank you for putting this broadcast on, and I can't wait to go back and watch tonight's. Not only because I won, but I want to watch the racing again because it was so much fun. And then thank my family for letting me do this stuff, and had big support tonight in my stream. Had several guys come by, so that was good to see as well. But other than that, that's all I got. Appreciate talking to you.
Well, before I let you go again, you want to quickly just plug your Twitch channel so everyone knows where to find you when you are streaming?
Yes, twitch.tv BRCham. 2 initials and then the last. Appreciate it.
All right, no worries. Thank you very much, man. Congratulations again on your win and the Hard Charger Award. Look forward to seeing you again in the road course, Mr. Not Road Course driver who's had a win on a road course.
Well, squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
All right. Thank you very much, man, and we'll see you next week. All right, guys. So that was Brian Chambliss, today's winner and Hard Charger Award winner. So, as we alluded to, we are going to be going to the road course of Watkins Glen next week. It should be an absolutely fantastic race. Don't forget, go and visit champsspeedshop.com and use the code word Michigan to get 10% off your order right now until midnight Pacific. And you'll be able to get 10% off your order if you order through Champ Speed Shop with Michigan as the code word. Alright guys, but that is going to be it from us here tonight. I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. And until next week, when we go to Watkins Glen, it's going to be a ciao for now.